Okay, there it is. We are live. Welcome back, Lions fans, to the Lions Den podcast, the father and son podcast, where we talk about our Detroit Lions. Today, we're going to do a little preview of the week one game Thursday night at the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Let's get right into it. Thursday night, not only is it the season opener, but our Lions are playing in Kansas City against the defending champion Chiefs week one. Son, what is important for us to for the Lions to win this game?
Mm,
What do you see as kind of like the main areas that the Lions need to focus on to win this game in Kansas City? Remember, they're getting their rings tomorrow. They're going to be fired up. What do you
mm.
think needs to happen?
The main thing that I think needs to happen, I think the defense needs to make sure that they're on their P's and Q's because I really do think the offense is going to come out firing. We'll talk more about that later, but I'm sure I really do think Gibbs, Montgomery, I think Goff and all of them will probably be in midseason form, to be honest. I'm sure they'll look pretty good because we've looked decent without Jameson Williams before. So I still think whether they have Travis Kelsey or not, they're going to. I don't think that's going to affect that much. I think the Chiefs are still going
Oh,
to put a lot of points, to be honest. Just because that's how the Lions be. I don't because now people are starting to bet on the Lions now because
I know.
they because of Travis Kelsey. But I don't know. We'll see. I think the defense is really going to have to step it up if we want to win the game, though.
Yeah, the money definitely has moved for the Lions ever since we heard about Travis Kelsey, possibly not being able to. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Especially with Travis Kelsey not being able to, to play. But let's actually look at the injury report. I actually pulled up the injury report, and we can look at it and see what they're talking about. I want to say it starts with the Chiefs. This was just a couple hours ago that this came out. So if we scroll down, we look at the Chiefs. We start with the big one right there, Travis Kelsey. It says he's questionable. It's his knee, did not participate in practice. So do you? I have a feeling that he may play, but do you think he's going to be effective?
I don't know. Oh, shoot, he could be effective enough. Him getting like, I think he can get 50, 60 yards. I don't think he'll
Okay,
keep line. Like his line was probably at like 80 yards or something.
right.
I think he will still be more effective than the problem with that's what I was kind of trying to say about having a target out there. It doesn't matter if he's hurt or not. That's a name that you now have to focus on, and that leaves more targets open. Even if he gets the ball or not.
Okay, a fair enough point. Now, the next two guys, Kadarius Tony, two wide receivers, Kadarius Tony and Richie James Jr. It says unknown. Kadarius Tony, we know he could be a factor, but it says that his status is unknown. It also says he has a knee injury. What do you think about those two receivers possibly missing?
I actually had no idea that they were out. And really, in my opinion, I'd actually rather have the Chiefs be at full strength. So that's just kind of disappointing that
Right.
Darius Tony has to be their number two receiver, right? Or no, their number
You
one.
know what? He was honestly, man, he was like their number 3, 4, 5
Oh,
receiver
yeah.
when they got him from the Giants last year, and he came in making plays. So
Um,
that's how stacked the Chiefs were, even when they lost Tariq Hill.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it'll still be a high scoring game even without Travis Kelce. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm sure his position in the depth chart has moved up since then.
Okay, Ladarius Sneed, who had been starting at corner, his status is unknown, also with a knee injury. Do
Dang,
you
the
think
Chiefs
that
are
that helps our
close.
wide receivers?
Yeah, geez, I have a feeling a lot of these people are going to end up playing.
Right, right.
Uh,
I heard some former NFL players say that usually when it says questionable, that means the guy is gonna play.
yeah, because L'Jarius Sneed once again, that has to be their like you said, their one or two
Yes,
guy. You know,
absolutely.
I
And
mean,
then go
it
ahead, go
all
ahead.
helps, but I want the Lions. I do want them to have a good test, but a win is a win, though.
I agree. And then you see the rest of the guys on this list. These guys are really just backups. backups and reserves, guys that I'm not necessarily sure that will play. But the ones that stood out to me were cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, Kadarius Toney at receiver, and then definitely Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. Now let's look at our Lions. Emmanuel Mosley, it says he is out. So I didn't hear that he was going to play, but he. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get to that, son, let me back up. There is somebody important who's not on this list. Chris Jones. He's not playing, even though he's not injured. So I think that that's a major key with Chris Jones not being in the middle. That can
Yeah,
definitely be an advantage for the Lions.
yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Now Emmanuel Mosley being out, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's going to be an issue. I mean, that's why I was saying, I think even with Travis Kelce not being out there, I still think it's going to be a problem because, you know, and Jerry Jacobs can go out there and prove me wrong, but I do think that, they'll probably, I'm sure the Chiefs should be able to scheme it. So it's either Kadarius Toney Sky Moore seems like he's more of a slot guy. So I don't know.
He played a lot in the slot. Sky Moore is out of Western Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did play a lot of slot last year.
I mean, personally, I think the corners are going to struggle, but I'm proven wrong. I think we're going to need Emmanuel Mosley just because I think he'd be the biggest corner on the team. We need some length. I'm pretty sure he's at least 6 feet tall.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to Frank Ragnow. Frank is going to play. I don't think that's going to keep him out of the game at all. Isaiah Buggs, this is a sticky one. It says his injury is an illness. What's your thoughts on Isaiah Buggs not playing?
Okay. Oh, that's crazy. They even said it was illness because that's not even what the situation was from what we know. Because, man, what I heard about Isaiah Buggs was apparently he missed voluntary practices. And that's the reason why they didn't play him, which I guess that's kind of messed. I guess that you can take that how you will.
Right.
But, they said he was a situational defensive lineman anyway. So I think our D-line is weak regardless. So I think we needed all the help we could get. I don't know how much it's really going to affect much, though, to be honest. Maybe he would have helped us get to the QB a little more, though.
Okay. And then Melifonwu, I didn't really think that he would really play much anyway, but one of our reserve safeties, his status is unknown with a hamstring. So that's where we stand on injuries. So with that being said, I did find something when I was looking at some stuff to present for the show. I actually did go to the Lions page, and the Lions had a preview, a trailer, if you will, for this week 1 game against Kansas City. So I want to throw it up on the screen and let's get a look at it and see what we think.
A lot of people in love with the Lions.
I'm in on the Lions. I think the Lions are going to be great this year.
Another sign of the buy-in to that hype. Lions season tickets are completely sold out.
Every year going into the first game, it was always butterflies, because it's going to be electric. It's going to be a lot of people there. But we just want to be able to prove to everybody that, this is what we can do. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Teams are going to be moving forward. Yeah. It's about respect.
Chased by Hutchinson. Gonna get hit. Gonna go down. It is accepted by the Lions. This game is over. Yes.
It's fun being here in the city with all this excitement. And with that being said, it doesn't mean anything if you don't win. And I think we all know that. I know that. People will continue to be excited if we continue to win.
There's tons of excitement around the team. Fans are dying for it. They're yearning for it. You can feel it. And that energy, it's contagious. You see the team run out of the tunnel, and it's like, man, I've done this over 100 times, but it's still really cool.
Drop up under center, turns, throws, end zone wide open. St. Brown, Goff to throw. Wants to throw it to Stewart. He caught it. He scored a first down. Big man.
How do you sustain the hype? You have to show up at Arrowhead.
The kickoff of the NFL season, it'll be the Lions.
That's just the beginning of 4 primetime games the Lions have.
These guys are still hungry. They're still hungry to prove that we belong in the conversation.
We feel, even more confident that we'll be able to compete with the big dogs. Not a better test than that first opening game. Is let's see it.
All right.
Well, a little something to get you hyped up for the season. I saw that and I said, oh yeah, we gotta throw that in here and look at it, get you
Yeah,
hyped up.
hopefully first quarter would be just about over by now, maybe.
Let's see. Yes. Probably about now. You're right. Yeah. Game doesn't start to 8:30. So I would agree. So okay, we've talked about let's get down to our predictions. We've talked about the injuries, we've talked about what we see out there. Let's kind of make it a game of two halves, and then we can give our predictions. What do you predict or what do you think will happen in the first half?
I think the Lions are going to get out real hot, how they seem to have the past two season openers. And, that's what I've been thinking for the past few days, uh, especially because I have a feeling we'll get the ball first. I wouldn't be surprised if Jameer Gibbs breaks off for something insane, like a 60-yard TD off bat, something like that. Um, but I do think it's going to be some blows traded. Like I said, I don't think our defense is going to be able to hold them. So really, it's going to be a question of if Jared Goff and the Lions offense can keep up. Because like I said, I still think it's going to be a shootout. Rather, we have Jameson Williams, or rather they have Travis Kelce, just because it was a shootout the last time Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes played. They put up like 104 points or something insane, and it's not like you always have to have superstar receivers to put up points either, because it's not like Jared Goff had some crazy receivers then. So, yeah. But do you want to make a score prediction for the first half?
Yes. What do you if you had to yes, what do you think what's the prediction for first half score?
Oh, uh, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 21-10 Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie, just because the Lions kind of had to do something similar against the Eagles. We kind of forget that they were down like 31-14 or something actually in the third quarter.
Oh, that's true.
The
That's true.
game was,
Yes.
and that's why I say that it matters how the game looks. Because the game was closer than what that score was, though.
Right.
And that's kind of how I think the game will be tomorrow. I think the Lions will have to wake up, and I think the offense will really kick into gear. That's what I'm saying. I think they'll have one explosive play where we're like, oh, we see what they got, and then I think they might be quiet for the rest of the time. And we'll see.
I get this feeling that the first half is going to be something like 17, like I'm sorry, like 14-10 in the first half. I do agree with you about Gibbs. Now, speaking, I'm glad you mentioned Gibbs. Is that the Chiefs have already come out and said that the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs already said that it's all eyes on Jameer Gibbs. That the Chiefs are expecting him to come out and do some big things, and that they think that he's one of the biggest threats on this Lions team against the Chiefs tomorrow. So they're already saying that they're game planning for Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I could see Gibbs, breaking a screen. I don't know. I gotta be honest. When you and I did our season predictions, we both said that we thought the Lions, our team, our boys would lose this game, but they would go down swinging, and it would set the stage for the season. I'm getting this sneaky feeling that the Lions may pull this out, especially with Travis Kelce being hurt. I think it's going to limit Patrick Mahomes' best target, but then again, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm gonna go 14-10 for the first half. And then the second half, in the end, I know this is Patrick Mahomes. He's still the best quarterback in the league. He's still probably the best player still in the league. And when you have a guy like that, it is hard to bet against him. Even though he may be lacking weapons, he does still come away with plays, and we've seen him do it. He comes away with crazy plays. He's been pulled down for a sack and still completed passes, jumping in the air, completing passes, falling on his back, completing passes. We've seen him do it all. But I get this sneaky suspicion that maybe the Lions can pull it out. So I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna give my prediction. What do you think is gonna happen in the second half? What do you think the final prediction will be? What's your final prediction?
Okay, so I think the second half, like I was saying, I think the Lions were, especially on offense, they're going to pick it up. And because I already kind of had a final projection in my mind before we started the video, but you did bring up a few good points that could, I guess that could swing that line. But, I think it'll be similar to the first half in the way that I think the defense will still be lacking. I think Aiden Hutchinson will show out. Hopefully he can get 1 or 2 sacks. But, for a final prediction, I think it'll end up being, it's hard, but I think it'll end up being probably 31-24 to the Chiefs. just
31-10.
because I think the deficit would be too big, that they had to come back from in the first half. And I personally think that'll just be like little things that they'll have to fix on defense. And that's what I think. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm really saying that like almost not willingly, because Jared Goff is, what's he, 3-0 in prime time or something crazy? Someone brought up a stat. He's undefeated against Jared Goff.
Really?
And then
Okay.
he also has a good stat in prime time too. I mean, someone will have to fact check that. But I know he's undefeated against Jared Goff, I'm pretty sure. So
Okay.
I just know it's going to be a good game. Like, I think, just like I thought the Eagles was a classic game, in my opinion, I think the Lions they're not going to disappoint anybody. I think it's going to be a classic game no matter who wins. Like, I think it's going to be a good game for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Originally I was thinking something high scoring like 34-31 Chiefs.
Yeah.
But but my guy Steve Fezzik, the gambling expert, he kind of got me to thinking different, that this is not going to be as high a score in a game as people think.
Yeah.
He have been saying that. And speaking of which, just looking at the Lions right now, the Lions have definitely changed. For those of you interested in things like this, the Lions, when this actually a couple weeks ago, the Lions were 7.5 points, which is a crazy number.
Yeah.
Underdogs.
Yeah.
Now the Lions are only 4.5 after the Travis Kelce news.
Okay.
So the Lions are 4.5 point underdogs. The over under is 52. So with your score, son, we will go. They will go over that 52. For some reason, I'm still believing that that this game is going to be higher scoring than people. And a high scoring game is still in the 20s. 28-24 is still a high scoring game.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Did you give a final prediction?
I'm going to now. I would just want to put that out there. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut, son. I know I originally said the Chiefs 34-31 Chiefs. I'm going with my gut. 28 27 Lions. I'm gonna go with my gut.
Yeah,
28-27. They're gonna edge out the Chiefs. It's gonna come down to Patrick Mahomes on the last drive. He's gonna be Patrick Mahomes, the modern day, Joe Montana, the modern day Dan Marino, wherever you want to call him, and he's gonna lead his team down the field. And I believe that our defense surprisingly is gonna come away with a big play.
DJ Gardner-Johnson.
Right. So that's what I think something's going to happen. It's going to be a very close game. 28-27 Lions. I'm changing my prediction. I'm rolling with our boys.
Yeah.
So
we really have the same idea, because I think I agree with the idea. It's going to come down to the last few drives, no matter what. That's what I think too.
I think so too. Either way. And I would be honest, if the Lions lose a close game tomorrow, I'm not going to be disappointed. I think the weeks coming, I may be disappointed, but if they go down against the Super Bowl champion, that's nothing to sneeze at. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But you know what, guys? That's our predictions. We're going to plan on doing these before every game as long as we can. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we're talking Lions football. That's our prediction for the game. What else you have, son?
Should we do some MVP predictions though? Who do you think, like, offense and defense MVP? I just thought about that.
Oh, for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, just as a guess, like, who do we think offense MVP?
Okay, are we doing it just for the Lions?
I mean, yeah, we can do it for both teams. I mean, it would have been easier if Chris Jones would have been on the
a lot easier. Okay. Well, let's do that. Let's start with defense. Let's start with the Chiefs. Who could possibly be their MVP? Willie Gay, maybe?
What position does he play?
Linebacker.
Jeez. I'm just gonna go with L'Jarius Sneed if he plays, because that's the only corner I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's have some fun. What about the Lions? Who's defensive player of the game tomorrow? Who's gonna show out?
See, and that's why it's gonna be one of the safeties for sure. It's either gonna be Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby, or CJ, or maybe Brian Branch. That's why the defense might be. I don't know.
Branch.
It could, or Jack Campbell. Okay, I'll pick one. I think it'll be CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think it'll be.
You took mine. That's what I was gonna roll with. I got a feeling Gardner-Johnson is gonna do his thing tomorrow.
Yeah, he has to be one defense.
I thought about Brian Branch because I could see him making plays in the slot, but I'm gonna go with Gardner-Johnson too. Okay, offense. I know this is gonna be easy for the Chiefs. Who's the offensive player of the game?
Be Mahomes. I want to see him do some crazy stuff.
Exactly.
It's
gonna be Mahomes. I'm with you there. Now the Lions. Who's the offensive player of the game?
Oh, I think it'll be Jared Goff.
You think Jared Goff?
Yeah, because now
Go
you're
ahead.
bringing stuff about Gibbs. I'm thinking maybe I think Gibbs will do good anyways. I still think it'll be Jared Goff, but the game's going to come down to him. What do you think?
I think it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have something like 12 carries for 67 yards, possibly a touchdown. And I believe that I honestly believe he'll have like 5 to 7 receptions.
See, that's what I'm wondering about. I'm wondering so you think they're going to split the carries pretty evenly between Montgomery and Gibbs then?
I think Montgomery's going to run more. I'm going to tell you what I think. Quick, okay. Game plan, people. I think that David Montgomery is going to run the ball a lot up the middle with Chris Jones missing. A lot. I think you're going to see. I wouldn't be surprised if David Montgomery has 20, 22 carries.
Okay, yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. I think they're going to run him right up the middle. That's why I almost thought about him being being the MVP player of the game, because I could see Montgomery running a lot with Chris Jones out, out in the middle. But I'm going to go with Gibbs. He's going to at least have a touchdown. It's going to be either rushing or receiving.
Yeah.
I believe Gibbs is going to have a touchdown. I believe that he's going to show out. I believe that the Chiefs were right to have their eye on him. And as my runner-up, I would go with you and say Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is going to have a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, son. So from now on, we'll do that. Before we sign off, we'll do our players of the game. That's a good thing to do. So we'll see tomorrow. So let's get this right. So offense for the Lions, I have Gibbs, you have Goff.
Yeah.
Defense, we both went with Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
For the Chiefs, we both went with Mahomes on offense.
Yeah.
And on defense, I'm going with Willie Gay. You're going with Ladarius Sneed.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he is pretty good.
All right. That's it. Did we forget anything?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Lions fans, I know I already said, but I'm gonna say it one more time. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. Other than that, we'll see y'all tomorrow after the game. Peace.
Peace.